Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I have a used sleeper PC to show all of you. A friend told me about an internet cafe which was going out of business. The guy who closed this internet cafe did it because they were basically going to build a high-rise in its place. He was quite lucky to close his business right before everything went to heck in 2020. I bought this PC for quite a deal. It came with speakers, a basic keyboard, a basic mouse, a headset, and a monitor. All in all, the entire thing cost $450 Canadian, which is a fantastic deal. As you can see, this PC is housed in a super old case. It is clear that it has housed several different components over its lifetime. Kudos to anyone who can tell me what model this case is, because I could not find it on the web for the life of me. About a decade ago, I volunteered at a StarCraft 2 tournament at this very internet cafe, and I would not be surprised if these were the same cases being used back then, so these are extremely old. Now, after receiving the PC in this lovely ramen box, I brought it home and cleaned it off. The dust under the case was likely accumulated over several years, and it was kind of incredible how much dust there was, because it seems like multiple generations of gamers hung out in this internet cafe. In addition to the peripherals, the PC came with an Intel i5-7500 using the stock cooler, an MSi Z270-A Pro Motherboard, 8GB T-Force Vulkan RAM at 2400 MHz, a Crucial MX300 525GB SATA SSD, an EVGA Nvidia GTX 1060 3GB model, and a Cooler Master 500-watt power supply. Now, the owner did warn me that the power supply might need replacing at some point, and that the hard drive had been in there for a while. So I did opt to install Windows 10 fresh on a new hard drive. I chose to upgrade this PC by adding an additional 8GB of RAM, a 500GB M2 SSD from Western Digital, and a $25 DVD drive to replace the one that was broken. I also placed the PC on monitor stands so that I could store things underneath them, which gave me more room to work with when trying to get the wiring just right here. On to benchmarking. Now, feel free to point out any flaws in my methodology. I am, after all, basically LARPing as a tech YouTuber here. However, to sum it up, what I did was I used FPS Monitor, a program created by Eduard Kozadaev. I took the frame rates I thought would best represent the kind of gameplay you'd expect to encounter while using this PC, and I only took into account the average frames per second, 1% low, and 0.1% lows here. I also used OBS to capture all of these recordings, and I do believe this resulted in lower than expected 1% and 0.1% lows on some titles which might have been more CPU intensive, because I did notice that when OBS was not recording, I did seem to see better performance in titles such as Mordhau and World War Z. a few closing remarks to end this video. Now, the main use case for this PC would be everyday gaming and video editing as well. I use this PC as my daily device for both playing video games and working on videos. Going forward, some upgrades I'm considering for this computer would be a better cooler, a better CPU, and perhaps a case with better airflow. I named this PC the Super Skunk, after a cartoon character I created when I was 7 years old. I gave it this name because when I look at this PC, it kind of makes me think about my favorite animal, the skunk. It's dark black, it sits under my desk, and when I got it, it was a little dirty. Thank you all for watching. If you liked this video, leave a thumbs up. If you disliked it, leave a thumbs down. And please do subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this, and hit the bell icon to be reminded when new content comes out.